Racing to the 2025 Kentucky Derby, and this time we go to Arkansas. It's the Saratoga of the South. That means it's the Arkansas Derby 2025. The field has been drawn, and this is going to put a cap on the Oaklawn Park racing season. But let's take a look at the three-year-old scene. 1 1/8 miles on Saturday, March 29th, part of a big card of racing that includes a prep race for the Kentucky Oaks, the Fantasy Stakes. We've also got a preview up already of the Florida Derby from Gulfstream Park. But Oaklawn Park, a big card on Saturday, 100 points to the Kentucky Derby winner, 50 points for second, 25 points for third, and points awarded for fourth and fifth. Basically, the top two horses are in the Kentucky Derby if they choose to be. Of course, the Arkansas Derby since 1980 has been a key Kentucky Derby prep. 124 Kentucky Derby runners have ran in the Arkansas Derby and 7 winners. And yes, last year, Mystic Dan, he did not win the Arkansas Derby, but he ran in the Arkansas Derby, then won the Kentucky Derby. Just Steele finished 17th last year in the Kentucky Derby after running in the Arkansas Derby. A field of 9 has been drawn. Let's take a look. Barreton's Baytown is going to be post position number 1. He enters with Marshall Mendez. Then First Division. He's part of a couple of horses that ran 1-2 in an allowance race. It was Best Friend Rocket winning that race. First Division was right there on the line, and First Division gets Brian Hernandez, who won the Kentucky Derby last year with Mystic Dan. Now, Publisher has won $137,000 as a maiden. Flavian Prat rides. Steve Asmussen trains. Of course, Steve Asmussen picked up a win with a 7-1 shot to his Tastic last week in the Louisiana Derby. Best Friend Rocket for the coach, Dwayne Lucas and Nick Juarez. Can they team up again in another Kentucky Derby prep like they did in the Virginia Derby? Then you've got Speed King, Rafael Bernero, and then Sandman, who will take a lot of support. He's been running in all of these prep races. He gets Jose Ortiz for the first time. Monet's Magic, a veteran of the Stakes Wars. Cole Battle, a 4-time stakes winner, Juan Vargas, and Cornucopian, the maiden winner. He won on the undercard of the Rebel Stakes. He's 1 for 1, trained by Bob Baffert, draws post position number 9 with John Velasquez. Now, the wagering on this race, I think definitely Cornucopian's going to be favored. He ran the big 100-plus Beyer in his debut. He's got to win at Oaklawn Park. He was 1-5 in his debut. The clockers have been raving about him for 2 months. But you do got good horses like Publisher. He's more experienced. You've got Best Friend Rocket coming off an allowance win. Speed King has won a stakes race. And then Cole Battle, a 4-time winner, including twice at Oaklawn Park. This should be a good betting race. Sandman also in a lot of these stakes races. Derby points coming in. Cole Battle with 70. He's in the starting gate no matter what happens. Sandman with 29. Top 5 finish will definitely get him in. And then Publisher, he's got 10 points. He probably needs at least a top 3 finish to guarantee himself into that Kentucky Derby starting gate. Now, Arkansas Kentucky Derby winners, you've got American Pharoah and Smarty Jones that have completed that double in recent years. Let's take a look at Sandman. Back to a 7-furlong win at Saratoga. He's got enough speed to win at 7 furlongs. He won that day at Saratoga, was up near the pace. He's faced fast fractions in some of his sprint races and in his route races. And Sandman, that's where he broke his maiden. Now let's go back to Oaklawn Park. He does have a win over the Oaklawn track. This was early in the year, picked up in the meet, picked up a nice win. The Big Gray kind of tucked inside, then went outside a horse, picked up the win that day. Looked good doing it. Now, granted, it was just an allowance win, but that showed that he got his second win, which is a key win. Then he went into some Southwest Stakes, had some trouble in that race, hopped in the air. In the Rebel Stakes, he got way behind because it was a fast pace. We'll see if he can kind of meet in the middle here with Sandman. He was 13 lengths off the lead in that Rebel Stakes. Now, Publisher, a very exciting mating to take a look at in this race. Steve Asmussen always seems to get horses to the Kentucky Derby. He is 0 for 2 this year, 0 for 6 lifetime, but he's ran against Cole Battle, he's ran against Speed King, he's ran against American Promise, and he also ran against Authentic Strike in a maiden race. So he's faced stakes level horses in a lot of his maiden races, and he's got stakes experience for Steve Asmussen. Now, Speed King, let's go back to the Southwest, wire to wire, tactical position. You know, he got further off the pace than he normally is in the last race, the Rebel, because of that fast pace. But I think Speed King can be closer to the lead here, but I don't think he has the raw speed that Cornucopian has, so maybe he can get a good trip sitting second place at that 6 furlong mark. Now, Cole Battle, 4 straight stakes wins. He won the Smarty Jones. Let's go back to the Rebel Stakes. He won this day. He's also won at Delta Downs. He won the Jean Lafitte. He won at Remington Park, the Springboard Mile. He went wire to wire in the Smarty Jones. He came off the pace in the Rebel. He can do different running styles. He's got experience. He's got stakes experience. Cole Battle is going to be a force to be reckoned with here in the Arkansas Derby. Now, in the Smarty Jones, Cole Battle pulled away in the stretch there. That was a small field, kind of slower fraction. But what I like about that is he's able to adapt to the pace of the race, and I think he's going to get a quicker pace, so that means he can lay further back here in this race. Now, another one, 1-2 runners in this allowance race. It was Best Friend Rocket. Look at him late. He goes in between horses, but on the outside, who briefly took the lead was First Division. Those two come right back here in the Arkansas Derby. Best Friend Rocket won that race, and then it was First Division running second in that race, but he lost by a head bob, and he definitely seems to have the pedigree here to go a mile and an eighth. And, you know, when those head bob type races, they're equal in class ability, but they do got to go up a little bit in class facing stakes horses this time. Now, the horse that's going to be the favorite in the race, the one that everybody's talking about, Cornucopian, he's only got one race. We'll show you the stretch run, a 109 and change, the fastest 6 furlong maiden win in Oaklawn history. Sub 24 final quarter. He's fast. He's by Into Mischief. The big question is, with only one lifetime race, can he go 2 turns and a mile and an eighth? Now, the 6 furlong pace, I think Cornucopian is just so fast from that maiden win that he's going to be pretty much guaranteed the lead here at the 6 furlong mark. Now, Presser's right behind him. Will getting a good trip will be Publisher, Cole Battle, Speed King, and then the mid-pack runners, Monet's Magic, Best Friend Rocket, First Division. They can all lay about 6 to 8 lengths off the pace. Sandman going to be right there in the mix. You know, I think he wants to be a little bit more involved early, but he can't run 109 and change. They'll probably do 110 and 4, maybe 111. Cornucopian, shipping for the second time, second lifetime race, got to go 2 turns and a mile and an eighth. Now, the big questions, Jose Ortiz rides Sandman for the first time, Cornucopian going 9 furlongs, and how fast is the pace? If it's slow, Cornucopian will probably be able to stretch out. If he gets pressure, then that's going to be the big question at the top of the stretch. Now, my top selection, you know, this is one of those pace makes the races. I'm just going to go with Cornucopian. He ran fast. I think he's going to be on the lead. I think he's going to be able to slow down the pace, and I just don't think anybody but is going to be able to pressure him early. So I'm going to go Cornucopian, straight exacta over Publisher and Sandman. Try to hit a nice exacta. And then other contenders to consider, you've got Speed King, of course, a stakes win. You've got Sandman, and then Cole Battle, 4 straight stakes wins. He faces a bigger crowd here, but he's tactical. He can come off the pace, and I think he'll get a good trip in this spot. But he does have 70 Kentucky Derby points. This may be more of a conditioning race for Cole Battle. Now, we had Cole Battle win the Smarty Jones and the Rebel Stakes. Speed King won the Southwest Stakes. Let's see who won the Arkansas Derby. And of course, we've already got a preview up of the Florida Derby. Next week, we go to the Wood Memorial, the Bluegrass, and the Santa Anita Derby. Of course, free racing picks this Saturday for the Florida Derby, all the races, top 3 selections. You can sign up below. Also, that'll get you Kentucky Derby picks on Kentucky Derby morning. So sign up for that, and then Preakness picks in Belmont. Florida Derby preview is already up online. Who do you like in the Arkansas Derby 2025? If you're interested in the 3-year-old scene, we've got the Triple Crown prospectus every Monday. Sign up below in the description. Share, comment, like, and subscribe. It's the Arkansas Derby, Speed King, Cole Battle, Sandman, and the newcomer, Cornucopian. And remember, who do you like in the Arkansas Derby? D. Wayne Lucas always says, people have opinions, horses have the facts.